Good afternoon, it's Jessie. I'm here and it's a nice drizzly day, and I just wanted to give you a few tips on starting seeds. Really any time of the year, but this time of the year it's October the 2nd. About a week ago, maybe not even a week, maybe about 5 days ago, I went ahead and started some kale seeds and some spinach seeds and a few lettuce seeds. Now, most of the time they tell you to start this 8 weeks before your first frost date. I didn't get that started. It's really hard to get seeds to germinate when it's so hot out. So I don't have a lot of success. In fact, there's only, out of a whole row of seeds of lettuce that I planted, only about 6 came up. And 0 spinach seeds came up, so I had to replant everything. Now here's the tips that I have to show you. They're pretty simple. Most of you that are experienced gardeners probably won't even bother to watch this, but if you're learning a few tips, you've never planted anything, or maybe you haven't had success, this might be why. This may help you. This is how I do it. I know there's lots of ways to do things. This is just how I do it, okay? Now, first of all, I'll work my soil. This row here is where we had all of our tomatoes. So the tomatoes are done, dug them all up, worked this line right here, and then I added some compost in there. You know, you want to replenish the nutrients that the tomatoes took out. Then I sprinkled my seeds. Now you'll also see that I have straw. Don't use hay if you use this, because it's going to have seed in it. But straw typically does not have seeds in it. I'm sure there's other exceptions, but most of the time you want to use straw because you don't want the seeds in there like you would if you had hay. So I very lightly cover, very lightly. You don't want to snuffleupagus. You don't want to suffocate your seeds. So you want to lightly just put a little bit of straw there, and that is to hold the moisture in. Kind of give them a little bit of the shade from that you sometimes get some hot days during this time of year, but mainly to hold moisture in. And the next thing is, if you're a homesteader or a gardener, most people have cats. I love my cats. Great, fabulous additions to our homestead. I couldn't live without them. They keep the snakes at bay. They get rid of all of our voles, moles, of course, rats and mice. So, I mean, I love, 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 love our kitties. But if you have any exposed dirt, you know what they're going to do. They just can't help it, y'all. They can't help it. I mean, the temptation's too strong. They have to go there. And I don't know about you, but I don't want my plants growing in a litter box. So I always keep little strips of fencing like this down. That way it doesn't shade my row of plants and it keeps the kitties out. All this is that fencing, I don't know, that's got the 3" by 2 or 1 inch, 1.5 by 3 inch little squares. And then I cut it. So that side is, let me show you. This side, so it's got a sharp end on it. It's exposed. I use little pieces of fencing like this everywhere. If I need to put it around a tree to keep the chickens from scratching up close to it, or mostly to keep chickens out of stuff. If I have a place outside of our fenced garden area that I want to start some seeds in, I will put this around it to help the seeds get established, or young plants get established, so the chickens won't scratch them because they just can't help themselves. They're as bad as the cats when they see soil that's upturned. They have to go in there and scratch around. So I use bits and pieces of fencing like this all over the place. This is just another use for it. And they're so easy to store. So that's all I do. You work your soil, you plant your seeds, you water them, and keep them watered. If you do not keep that soil moist, your seeds will not germinate. It is extremely important to keep the soil moist, especially until they germinate. Once they germinate, and by that I mean they pop through the soil, like this is my baby kale. Okay. Once they pop through the soil, you can back off on watering. You don't have to water religiously and keep it, moist continuously. You can just water it every couple of days, or let the rain do it. But young plants are like infants. You know, when you have that newborn baby and they're high maintenance, you have to be around the clock, feed them every 2 hours, just care for them nonstop. Plants are the same way. They require most tender loving care at the very beginning, and once they get established, you can kind of back off and let them do their thing. So just, it's a lot of upfront starting seeds, but if you just be diligent, after about a week or two, it gets easier. And when you have nice overcast days like this with that light drizzly rain, oh man, that's really great, because you don't have to water them and the sun's not harsh on them. So if every day would be like this for my seeds to start, it'd be great. But anyhow, all right guys, I hope that helps somebody. It definitely, see, look, there she is. That's Ginger, and she's coming to look for a place to go. But guess what? She ain't going in here, because I got my fence around it. So anyway, maybe that'll help you guys keep the kitties out. Put your straw down to keep your soil moist, and y'all have a great rest of the day. Have a happy planting, and we'll see you on the next video.